Hello, everybody. Hi. Happy Monday. I know Monday. Some people don't like Mondays, and I am always excited about a Monday because you know why? That's when the business people come back to play. I always feel sad on Saturday and Sunday when it's somewhat inappropriate to reach out and send business stuff. I love business. It makes me happy. And for me, business is teaching fitness. And if I can't do that, obviously that's a problem. So excited to see you guys here. Let's see. Here I am. There's my logo. Much better. But today I want to answer some questions. So if you have questions, please submit them. I have a comment section here where I can see them. If you're coming from Facebook, identify yourself if you want. If not, it'll show like generic anonymous Facebook user. But you can say, hey, this is Bob from Minnesota. And I have a question, and then I'll answer because I like your faces and I like your names, and sometimes I don't get them. But I had a great weekend. I ran Savage, Florida this weekend in Dade City, and I chose the 6+ mile distance, which is a big score for me because I haven't done a 10K. Honestly, I did a 10K the weekend I found my lump. Yeah, I found a lump on a Thursday, and then I did a 10K on Friday. And then on Monday, I started the process of blah, blah, blah cancer. So that was a big triumph for me. And I did great. I actually thought at the start that maybe I would bail and only do the 5K, but I didn't bail on anything. I went all the distance, I went all the miles, and I did as much of the obstacles as I could. I'm still a little weak. I'm not who I was yet, but I'm getting there. But it was a hell of a lot of fun, and I got so much dirt on me, in my mouth, in my nose. It was spectacular. And I'll talk about that more thoroughly another time this week. So if you've not done an obstacle course race, what are you waiting for? Get out there. It's something all sorts of regular people do. You do not have to be some sort of CrossFit champ. You just gotta register. You gotta pay the money, and then you can go play. And that's really what it is. It's playtime. If you see an obstacle and you go, no way, that's not for me, you just walk by it or run by it. Who cares? So on to questions, because I have answers. And good morning, everybody. Okay, so first question I got was one I hear all the time is, Fitz, I keep missing my after work workouts. I'm just too tired at the end of the day. How do I get through them? So here's the little secret is you, and again, it's a secret. You can get up and exercise before work. What? I know, it's shocking. You can do that. You can totally get up and exercise before work. Now, mind you, it will require you to set your alarm 30, 60 minutes earlier, which may seem appalling and rude and obnoxious. And maybe it is, because I, of all people, love sleep. But I love having a fit body more, and I'm willing to do what it takes. So what I want you to do is set that alarm early, and you don't have to set it an hour early on day one. You can just say, you know what, I'm gonna get up 10 minutes early. I'm gonna get my butt up and I'm gonna go for a walk around the block. That'll be it, 10 minutes. And I'm gonna do that every day this week. And then next week, I'm gonna set it up 10 minutes earlier. So that's 20. I'm gonna go for the walk, or maybe run slowly. And I'm gonna get in my front yard and I'm gonna do some push-ups and lunges and planks. And then you build on that. So yeah, after work, it's not that you can't go after work. And I think that's also a great choice. In order to get yourself there after work, you got to pack your stuff. You cannot go home before you go to the gym, because when you get home, all of a sudden your couch is like, hey, y'all, I've been missing you. And your dog looks so cute and your kids want to do things. And there's so many wonderful things at home that you're likely to not leave. You're not likely to escape. So pack your things. If you have a vehicle, fill your trunk with your exercise clothes. Throw a bunch of shorts in there, a bunch of tanks, a bunch of sports bra if you wear them, a couple pairs of shoes. And even if you don't go to a gym, fine, you go to the park, you go to the playground, you go to the beach, whatever you do, you go out and you exercise after work, and then you bring in your nasty clothes, boom, wash them. You know that you still have shorts and tanks and socks and stuff like that in your vehicle. If you are a New Yorker and you don't have a car, just pack them in your briefcase. And what a cool thing to fill a briefcase with. exercise clothes. I feel very strongly that that's a wonderful thing to put in your briefcase. So you just got to make it work. You got to make it work. And when you think, I can't do it, convince yourself that, okay, I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to show up and I'm going to do something lame. Whatever your version of lame is, I'm going to go and I'm going to do the minimal. And what I think is once you get started doing the minimum, you may go, well, I'll do this extra thing. You'll start to feel invigorated again. Once you're at the gym, once you start moving your body, you'll get there. So I think it's a great idea to work out before work, and then it doesn't matter how your day goes. It doesn't matter if something hits the fan at 4 p.m. You've already got your workout out of the way. It's done. It's in the books, and you have won. So before work workouts are a great idea. The other thing you can do is work out while you're at work. And remember they used to give people cigarette breaks? You go out for 15 minutes, which is totally disgusting. But I do believe some companies still give, little snack breaks, motion breaks, mental health breaks, whatever. Go walk the hallways of your office or walk around your building or shut your office door and do push-ups or go in the break room. There's all sorts of places. The stairwell, you can go up and down the stairs. I mean, if you're committed to fitness, work, children, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes should not get in the way. You just need to squeeze it in. And 2 minutes of exercise counts. And so some people are like, well, if I don't get the whole 45 minutes, it's not worth it. Well, those are very stupid people. And those are very, very stupid. You see these letters on my name, the MSESS? That's Masters of Science in Exercise and Sports Sciences. So I'm actually a very smart person when it comes to exercise. I've read all the research. And 2 minutes of exercise is way better than 0 minutes of exercise. And if you put 2 minutes plus 3 minutes plus 7 minutes all together, you've got your 45 minutes of working out. And even if not, that 2 minutes still counts. So get your workout in before work, and then, it's done. It's in the books. You win. Do it during work or get it done immediately after work. And then the last option, I think, is to make it a family affair. You get home and you have your special significant other or children or whatever it is. You just say, okay, we're always going to get out and go for a bike ride after dinner, or we're going to wrestle. We're going to have WWE in the living room. I'm a big fan of the wrestling and the tickle contest. I think laughter burns lots of calories and it's very good for the muscles of your diaphragm. And then I have a bunch of cardio equipment in my 2-car garage is turned into a gym. And so when my kids were babies, I'd be able to put them to bed at 8 o'clock, and then I'd drag myself onto the stepper or the treadmill or the bike. I've got a lot of things, but it was a time where they were secure in their cribs or their beds, and I could go have me time. So you just got to squeeze it in, and that's a long answer on a short question of how do I squeeze in, how do I commit to working out after work? And you can also get a trainer. If you're paying someone, you'll definitely show up. And you can also get a buddy, because an accountability partner is just that. Forget if they know more than you, know less, whether they can do more or do less. If you've committed to meet someone somewhere to exercise, you're far more likely to show up than if you hadn't. So again, I'm taking questions live. If you want to ask me something, just use the comment section wherever you are. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I can talk to everybody. As you see, I've got lots of words coming out of me. I sprained my Achilles and I can't work out. Help. Well, that's stupid. I'm sorry you sprained your Achilles. I've done that. It feels really bad. And I highly recommend you do what your doctor tells you to do and rest, because that is something that actually needs to rest. So it will heal. However, you don't have to rest your upper body. You don't have to rest your abs, your back, your glutes, your hamstrings. You don't have to rest anything other than your Achilles. So let's remove that body part from the equation and do all the other things you can do without walking, basically. Walking, running, jumping on that foot. So can you swim? Absolutely. Can you swim with a leg buoy in between your feet if you don't want to lose your legs? Or use your legs, not lose your legs. If you don't want to use your legs, yes, you can do that. You can tread water in the pool. You can lift weights, upper body. You can do leg press with just one leg. You can do leg extension, hamstring curl. You can do a ton of things. You can probably do boxing too, depending on your level of severity. So yeah, just because you've injured yourself doesn't mean you are locked out of exercise completely. It should only force you to be creative. Use the other body parts. Oh, I have so many questions coming. This makes me very happy. Hi, Jessica. Yeah, I'm gonna screw up your name, so I don't want to do it. I'm gonna call him the honey from London. I loved him. Moyiwa. I'm screwing it up. It's been too long. That's the problem. And Greg Weber. Okay, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna go from the top. Greg Weber, how would you fix long-term plantar fasciitis? Everything I've tried hasn't worked. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physical therapist. However, there's a bunch of really common things people do for plantar fasciitis. So rest, stop doing the thing that pisses it off. And if running, as I know Greg likes to do, really makes your plantar fasciitis cranky, that's the bottom of your foot, then do elliptical, do biking, do swimming. And I know you do those things, but massage goes a long way. Manual massage. I've been treated for plantar fasciitis quite a few times, and I've had some wonderful / horrible therapists dig their thumb into the ball / heel of my foot, and it's been a nightmare, but it's been highly effective. There's the old tennis ball. They say to roll your foot over, icing it with proper rest and therapy, that should resolve itself. There's not many people I know that have plantar fasciitis forever and they can never walk or run again. It's just about giving that body part the time it needs to recover fully. And then here's the deal. When your foot hasn't hurt for 2 weeks, you don't go, okay, now I'm gonna go back and do that half marathon. You have to baby step your way back into recovery. You run for 1 minute, see how it feels, stop running, and then the next day, maybe you run 2 minutes. And most physical therapists will tell you to increase 1 minute at a time for at least the first few weeks. So good luck with that, Greg. Plantar fasciitis is no fun. In fact, being injured in any way isn't a good time, but it shouldn't deter us. Man, I've been deterred by far greater, or I've been undeterred by far greater, and I know you have as well. So sometimes it's interesting how people can be brought to their knees by a sprained ankle. My shoulder hurts. I can't do anything. Baloney, you can do something. You just got to choose something that doesn't include the part that hurts. Get up and go. Get sweaty. There's a million opportunities for everybody. And if I sound like a bully, I'm okay with that. All right, Jessica Garan from Gainesville. Any breathing exercises to help reduce side stitches, strengthening diaphragm? I breathe in for, oh, geez, I should be showing these questions here. I'm sorry, I always forget to do this. A great question. I breathe in for 3 steps, then out for 2 steps while I run, but I will still get stitches occasionally on longer distances. Any advice? So basically she's talking about the cramp. You're running and then, I got a cramp. So that could be breathing, and it can also be dehydration. So it's really important to make sure you're hydrated. Water. If you're going above 1 hour worth of cardiovascular exercise, I always think it's a really good idea to invest in something like a Gatorade or a Powerade or Noon. There's a bunch of good choices out there as well. Potassium, bananas, potatoes, peppers will help with that. Actually, peppers. Peppers are a great source of potassium that not too many people consider. And yeah, as far as breathing exercises go, so everybody's got their own philosophy on things. Mine, my cardiovascular endurance changed completely when I started kickboxing competitively. And so I had been in great shape. I had been teaching fitness for years, playing soccer, running for exercise, and so forth. And then I started fighting. And that sport, much different than what I had been doing in the past, is somewhat anaerobic. And it's aerobic, but because of the intensity of a fight, it's anaerobic. Lifting your foot up to somebody's face is really strenuous. It resembles a sprint. And that's why kickboxing rounds are only 2 minutes as opposed to a boxer's round, which are only 3 minutes, et cetera, et cetera. So my trainer, in order to keep me going for round after round after round, he wanted to make sure I would recover quickly. And so I'd fight for a round, and, just naturally you get all wound up and so I'd go to my corner, ding, ding, it's my turn. I go to the corner. And when you're in your corner, it's really important to get information from your trainer. That's what you want. You think, okay, give me a drink and then tell me what to do next. But he refused to tell me what to do next until I took 3 massive breaths. in through my nose, out through my mouth. And it was bigger. And does that seem dramatic? Yes. Was it a dramatic point in my sport? Absolutely. And so the way I've learned to manage my oxygen so I can just keep going and going and going is that deep breath in through my nose, out through my mouth. Again, now suck the whole room in and then push. Now, again, a lot of people have different opinions, but this is what works for me in a very big way. And I don't just do it those big 3 breaths while I'm in the corner. And those big 3 breaths have an incredibly calming effect. I mean, they boom, would set me straight, hit reset, and allow me to feel like a normal person as opposed to a exhausted, hyperventilating person from that 2-minute battle. And it prepared me to go back in. But I would take that skill of deep breath into the nose, out through the mouth with me while I was fighting. And that allowed me to produce more effort with less exhaustion, without hyperventilating. And then the skill really showed its value when I was out in the ocean. I was water skiing. Someone had just seen a shark, which is kind of scary, right? And I fell, right? I wipe out, and then there I am, and I'm in rough waters. It's kind of rough waters, and then I know there's a shark out there, and all I wanted to do is freak out. I just wanted to freak out, but instead I treaded water and went, and it helped. It helped me preserve the oxygen I had and use it better, breathe more efficiently. And so that's actually where I'm going, is breathing more efficiently. You have to control your breathing. And that's actually one of the great weaknesses I see in endurance athletes of all sorts. And what you want to be is at a point where you don't hit the wall because you couldn't process oxygen anymore. You hit the wall because your legs could no longer carry you, or your arms could no longer drag you through the water. It's about breathing. If you can preserve your oxygen and preserve your oxygen, then your body will be able to go to its limits. So I hope I answered that question for you. That was a long answer again. That was kind of a long question, but yeah, in through your nose, out through your mouth, and then lots of water and certainly potassium, and that will help you avoid those stitches. And then sometimes you just get them and you walk it out, you work through them and go on. She's such a great athlete. All right, so now I have mystery Facebooker. So you can identify yourself if you want to. Oh, enjoying the great advice. Well, that's nice. That's not even a question. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then this was the question I forgot to say before. Shh. Sorry, Greg, I should have put you up there. All right, next question. Which is better, yoga or Pilates? I think they're both great. Why choose? Yoga is better at helping you gain flexibility, right? I'm actually not a big fan of yoga. I'm a big fan of yoga for other people. And I did just say yogurt. Sometimes when I talk quickly, the words come out weird. I think yoga is fantastic. I also personally find it very boring. I don't like the words. I don't like namaste. I don't like the lame music. So I like stretching. But here's the thing. I recommend yoga. I think yoga is wonderful for gaining flexibility and even some balance. So yoga is fantastic for that. A little dry. I would like to do yoga to have rap music and not say the dorky words like namaste. Don't kill me, yoga people, yogis. But then Pilates is great for lengthening your body. You do a lot of stretching, reaching, and holding. It's great for strength training. And I don't think it's well-rounded. I don't think it takes the place of bench press and pull-ups and all of those other things, but it's a great add-on. So I truly believe Pilates is a wonderful form of exercise and definitely targets your core. So your ideal workout might include all the things I've spoken about. Perhaps one day you kickbox in the morning and then you do some yoga in the afternoon. And then the next day you swim and do Pilates, and then you run. And the next day you hit the gym for dumbbells and kettlebells and medicine balls and things like that. So yeah, which is better, yoga or Pilates? I like them both. I don't think you have to or should choose. I think there's enough time in the world for us to participate in all those activities. And again, if you have any questions, use your comment section and I will be happy to answer your question. Oh, and then here's another this or that question. Should I do weights or cardio? When doing weights and cardio, should I keep them separate or combine them? And again, why choose? I think there's definitely a time to focus on just weights, right? So if I'm doing benching, I know that I'm pushing my chest muscles to their max, and that is a stationary exercise. It is not cardio at all. However, I can also work my pecs while boxing, right? Hitting a bag. I'm hitting a 100-pound bag of sand. I'm definitely putting forward great force and working those muscles of my pecs. So strong benefit. You will definitely lift more and gain more strength, isolating your strength training exercises, as well as if you ran, well, you shouldn't be running with weight on your back. That's super bad. Like maybe water, like a camelback, but do not run with a heavy bag or weighted vest. That's terrible impact on your spinal column and your discs and your joints. So don't ever run with weights on. However, if you were to run pulling a sled, perhaps you would never get the same cardio benefit as you would just doing a 100-yard sprint type thing or a marathon. That's a better comparison. So do them each separately and then do them together, because combining cardio and strength also has tremendous benefits. Again, you won't get that full endurance of the marathon or the full strength training of the bench press. But if you are running and pulling a sled, now you're getting the benefits of running while the benefits of core training and lower body training, your glutes and your quads and your calves or so forth, getting far more. When I go to the stadium here in Gainesville, I work out at the University of Florida Swamp, right? We have 90,000 seats and it's big and amazing. And so when I go climb the stadium steps, I'm there to get great legs, right? To build strength in my glutes and my quads, etc. However, all of a sudden, as I go up, I start huffing and I start puffing, and I am getting a great cardio workout. And so I tend to walk, but of course, if I were running, maybe you take the needle and you say a little more cardio, a little less strength if you're running up short steps. And if you're walking up the big steps, you're getting a little more strength, a little less cardio. But it's a great way to combine kill two birds with one stone. Those poor birds. You also get a bit of balance training when you're at a stadium. So maybe you're killing 3 birds with one stone. But I do believe in variety. Too many people say I'm a one-trick pony. I like to run and only run, and that's all I'm going to do. Well, there will be a fallout one day. If you're running and only running, you will end up with injuries because you are tight and because you are weak. So you have to do all of the things, and the more variety within your workout, the better. But yeah, if you are doing cardio while strength training or just circuit training, maybe you're going to do 20 push-ups and then you're going to jump rope for 2 minutes, and then you're going to do squats, and then you're going to dance for 2 minutes while you are not doing cardio and you're doing strength training at that strength circuit. You're still getting the benefits of the cardio workout because your heart rate is still up very high. So I hope I've made any sense to you when we're talking about this. Good morning, Ginger.
Good morning.
My daughter just woke up. Yes, quietly. Thank you. Can I make food? I'm in the kitchen. So everybody say good morning to Ginger.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, wow. She just got done working out, which I'm very proud of her. She gets up and she does it several times a day, which makes her my kid. All right. So cardio, yes. Strength, yes. The two of them combined, yes. A little quieter, Ginger. Maybe you could do that stuff in your room. Let's see. Can I work out every day? Absolutely, you can work out every day. Not only can you, but you should. Our bodies were designed to move. And you think about it, if we're not deliberately exercising, we're sedentary, right? We sleep for 6 to 8 hours every night. That's sedentary. We get up, we go sit in a desk with our computer for many hours throughout the day. That's sedentary. We sit when we're eating, sedentary. Sit in our car, sedentary. Sit watching TV or chit-chatting with our friends, sedentary. Watch most of our entertainment, if we go to a show or a sporting event or a movie, whatever, sitting. So not only can you exercise every day, but you should exercise every day, because if not, we're just stuck in this linear mode. So all of our exercises, we're sitting here or we're walking, are this way. We don't naturally move sideways when we're shopping or working. Our body is meant to go in all these different directions. And look at my joints, my shoulders go back and forth and back, and my legs do the same. So if you're not intentionally, deliberately getting exercise, man, the stiffness and the sedentary yuck will kick in. So you must exercise every day. Right, Karsten? Karsten just showed up. Hello there. He's a tremendous endurance athlete. He's also very stylish. Look at that profile picture. And he sends me hearts, which I'll send you back. But yeah, exercise every single day. And here's the thing. Being active is better than not being active. So mowing the lawn, folding the laundry, wiping the windows, that's active. That's being active. And that's priority too, right? However, housework is not exercise. You know, housework rarely gets you huffing and puffing, and housework doesn't traditionally build strength and make you more flexible. And so that's the intention of exercise, very deliberately, increasing balance, increasing endurance, increasing strength, increasing flexibility. And we usually just don't accomplish that doing the dishes. And so yes, active is better than sedentary, but exercise is very different than being active. So exercise usually requires you to throw in a sports bra or some sort of fitness apparel, maybe a shoe, maybe a swim cap, goggles, blah, blah, blah. But you're going with the intentions of huffing and puffing, grunting, wincing, wobbling. You're going to make yourself a little bit messy, and that qualifies as exercise. What else? Oh, this is a great question. Finding it hard to work out because I travel so much. Can you help? Yes. And so I actually have a great workshop called Training While Traveling, and I love to deliver that one to professionals and executives who are on the go, the people with all the sky miles like me. And so a couple of things to point out. Number one, I have been to all the cities, all the states, and even dozens of countries. Everywhere I go, there are free sidewalks and parks to walk on. Every last one. There was not one city that didn't have a sidewalk. So there's always a place for you to move. Lately, I can't recall the last time I was in a hotel that did not have a fitness center. Now, not all of the fitness centers have been high-end or fabulous in any regard, but they existed. There was something. And I am not above getting on a crappy, squeaky, smelly treadmill, or even one with a little hole in the belt. I don't mind that. I don't prefer it, but I'm willing to get in there and use the jacked up equipment they bought in 1989. I don't mind. I mean, again, most of it's nice. Most of these hotels are investing. If you stay at any of the, popular brands, Hilton, Hyatt, Marriott, etc., they have good gyms, right? They have enough. But yeah, you just got to make do with what you have. And so if you have that gym, you have to make it work the same way you do when you're at home, right? At home, you got to get up, you got to get yourself outside or get yourself in front of YouTube or go to the gym. You have to do all the things. So just build it in when you're on a go. There's never an opportunity or never a place where you have an actual excuse, a legitimate one that says, well, I couldn't exercise. There's nowhere to exercise in Detroit. Really? Okay. All right. There's nowhere to exercise in Paris. Okay. That's really lame. It's just as unfactual. So, rely on the simple stuff, the roads, the sidewalks, the parks. You got to get somewhere and do the things you know how to do. Use the equipment that's available to you. You can also get on your cell phone, use your GPS, and look for a yoga studio or Pilates or Zumba or CrossFit. There's a gym on every corner in almost every town in the land, wherever the land is, right? So there's options for you. And you can also exercise in your room. I have not been known. Every single time I travel, I always have my resistance bands, both the loops and the ones with handles. I put them in my luggage. They're lightweight. They do not add on to the weight fees that my airline may or may not charge. But I just cannot make excuses that would deprive my body of being healthy. And, health matters. Health always matters. For me, I've had an even greater appreciation of health mattering in the past couple of years. And I think this year specifically, where people are freaked out about not being healthy, well, there's a way for you to control that. It's watching what you put in your mouth, right? Getting lots of immune building nutrition from your fruits and your vegetables of a variety of colors, and then making your body strong. Healthy people are not susceptible or not as susceptible to the viruses, illnesses, ailments, and healthy people are far more likely to recover quickly and efficiently than a sick person was, or an overweight person was. So this health thing matters. When you are out, you got to make the best of it. And I am not a stranger to those conferences where it feels like you're there all day. You got to be there at 9, and then there's drinking and eating and debauchery after, or boring stuff, whatever. Yeah, I get it. A conference eats up your life, but you have to build in something. Wake up in the morning, commit 15 minutes to strengthening and stretching, push-ups and lunges and bridges and all sorts of little things. And then stretch breaks. If you're at a convention center, do a big lap around the convention center. Those are big old buildings. So it doesn't have to be fancy or complicated, but you can exercise everywhere in the world. And I know this is true because I've been lots of places. And the other thing is, in every city, in every state, in every country so far, they sell healthy food. There's an apple everywhere you go, and a banana, and some water, and some vegetables. And so you just have to choose it. That really is the point, is that it relies on you. We have to make good choices for ourselves. And, the amount of times people have told me, well, I can't eat healthy because my husband likes to eat junk food. Really? Does your husband pin you down, jack up your mouth, and shove fried stuff in it? I don't think so. You always have the ability to deny or accept a food item or a beverage item. You don't have to drink because everyone in your office likes to drink. No, you don't. And that's foolish, and that's juvenile and immature to suggest that you do. So yes, I know many of you come to me because I give out information with a smile. Sometimes, I got to tell you the truth that these excuses are lame. You do not have to drink alcohol because your friends are drinking alcohol, or your boss or your spouse, and you don't have to eat the ice cream every night because your spouse hasn't. It looks so good. We have to use discipline and find alternatives. If there's ice cream, maybe you make yourself a little smoothie. Strawberries with some Greek yogurt, a little bit of Splenda so it's sweet, and boom, you have something cold and delicious that you can enjoy while your people are ingesting 600 calories worth of ice cream with magic shell and sprinkles, etc. So it all comes down to that personal accountability. You make choices for you. You blame nobody for any of your failures. There's zero people responsible for you not being who you want to be or getting what you want to get. And the great news about that mindset is once you can completely own your failures, like all of them, I take personal blame for everything I've screwed up or didn't achieve. Then the exciting part is you get to fully take responsibility for your successes. You can say, I did that. I earned that. That was my doing. I put in the effort, the time. I was smart enough. I was thoughtful enough. I was diligent enough, and I did that. And that's a pretty cool thing. When someone pays you a compliment, instead of you saying, no, I didn't do it, instead of you saying, thank you. I appreciate that. I worked hard to achieve that. That's the way to make progress in life. So says me. All right, so I'm out of my questions that have been sent to me previously. Does anyone have any more questions? Anything you'd like to talk about? I could go back to talking about my Savage race this weekend, where I was the best crawler on the course. I was not the best hanger, but I made some progress with my hanging activities, climbing and dangling and hanging the monkey bars with PVC pipes that spun around the handle, so they were pretty tough. So I wasn't so good at those, but I'd like to be good, and I'm going to practice. I'm going to work on being good. I don't know where I'm going to get a monkey bar with a spinning PVC piped around it, but I'll figure it out. I always do. What else do you guys have today? Anything interesting? Bill, so nice to see your face. And this guy. I feel so bad that I can't pronounce your name properly. This is one of the sweetest men on the planet. He interviewed me in the fall about my book, My Noisy Cancer Comeback. We had one of the best conversations ever. And I felt like we were long lost friends, and I'm hoping I can see him again soon. Very, very sweet guy. Lots of energy. Kind of makes me look like a low energy person, if that's possible. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is your assignment today for the world. I still see you out there. Nobody wants to talk back today. That's fine. This is your assignment today, is to go do something that makes you sweaty. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you do it alone or with a friend or with your animal, but I want you to do something that makes you sweaty, something that makes you smell horribly bad, and something that makes you look disheveled. Okay, sweaty, ugly, disheveled, and that will likely mean that you will conquer this day better than you did yesterday. I also want you to say no thank you 7 times if somebody offers you something decadent, right? So something that you know is not good for you. If somebody says, here, I made these cookies, no thank you. Hey, I brought in cheesecake, no thank you. Here's some vodka and bourbon, no thank you, no thank you. And so when you say no thank you 7 times, if somebody comes at you with the 8th decadent food or beverage choice, then you can say maybe. Then you evaluate. But give me 7 no thank yous, or 7. What's going on there? 7 no thank yous. And then, yes, and that rule of thumb really works really well when you're at one of those business conferences or during the holidays, because people are always offering junk. So Wednesday, I have an interview with the man ESPN has dubbed the greatest endurance athlete of all time. It's Mark Allen, who is a 6-time Ironman world champion and all around great guy. He's actually coaching athletes now. So we're going to talk about getting fit with Mark Allen. And coming up soon, I'm going to interview the original Yellow Wiggle. I just got done talking to Emma Wiggle, who, if you guys have have had kids in the past 30 years, you know exactly who the Wiggles are. Emma is the new Yellow Wiggle, but Greg was the original, and he actually had a heart attack while performing a little over a year ago, and his life was saved because of an AED on property. And so now that's his mission, is to make sure there's AEDs in every location, not only for grown-ups, but for children, because he's actually shared a story recently of a child who had his life saved with an AED, which is pretty traumatic, as you can imagine, if your elementary school kid needed an AED to survive. So Greg will be on soon. And then on March 22nd, I'll be interviewing head ball coach Steve Spurrier at his new restaurant, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. And that'll be live March 22nd at 12:30. So I hope you all tune into that. And I'm really excited to talk to Coach. He's a legend, and he is so fun and so funny. So that really makes me excited. But I'm out for today. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. And I'll be back soon. If you have more questions, anything that you didn't want to ask publicly, go ahead and send them to me on the side, and I'll ask them, or I'll answer them in a future episode. Get to work, team. Love you all. Bye.